Another Monday and to my Monday messages. And I seem to have disconnected. I've reconnected now. So for those of you who may not be familiar with me, my name is Rebecca, and I pop in here every Monday to just share a thought process or a simple practice, something to, or some information to help us to be able to maintain our health as naturally and as sustainably as possible. And mostly that's about energy boosts and also protecting our energy and keeping it in a reasonably stable state. So it's holiday season. We're certainly coming up to it, and you may have been travelling already, as I have. I travelled actually very briefly a week or so ago just to the UK to visit an old friend of mine, and it actually reminded me of the importance of when we are wanting to transform our health and also to keep ourselves in a vibration or a frequency that is inherently healthy for us and that enables us to be literally firing on all cylinders and making good decisions and feeling vibrant and able to enjoy life as much as we can, then prevention is always better than cure. It's cheaper, it's easier, and it helps exercise that discernment muscle, if you like. So what brought this to mind for me was travelling by plane from Cork Airport to Gatwick Airport. And actually, sorry, before I go into that story, because I'll forget otherwise, just wanted to remind anyone, if you would like to avail yourself of my free download, which is a checklist for homeopathic remedies that are very, very useful for travelling. You don't have to be travelling abroad necessarily, but travelling. Then just pop a comment in the comment section below this video with holiday remedies on it, and I will send you the link for that. So I digress. So, and working actually in the area that I work in, energy medicine, energy healing, energy health, frequency, all of those things, I am very aware of, and so are a lot of my clients now, of the energies or frequencies or vibrations that we encounter on a day-to-day basis. And some of those we absolutely can't avoid. We just can't avoid them. But there are various things that we can do to mitigate the effects of them. Some of that's about prevention, it's about protection, so that our energies are not taken over in the first place. And some of that is recognizing when it may have happened and being able to put things back into balance. So the point being that if we are aware of our potential exposure to frequencies that are foreign, that are new, that are, we're not quite sure about them, then we need to exercise some discernment in avoiding those, questioning them, or mopping up afterwards. And my message, part of my message today, is very much to any of you who feel that that's already happened or it's about to happen. There are numerous ways that you can protect yourself, and there are numerous ways that you can mop up afterwards. If you come to collaborate with me, homeopathic remedies, there are many homeopathic remedies that are capable of that. And I'm going to share some of them this week, so look out for my posts. And also my Healy device is also packed full of programs that help to support protection of our own energy and rebalancing, reharmonizing any adverse effects of foreign frequencies. And again, I'm going to talk about those in my post this week. So, coming back to traveling, you may have already noticed that many airports now, if not all of them, are actually using the whole body scanners, backscatter radiation it is. Okay. And depending on which airport you go to, there are different attitudes to that. And lots of notices that tell you that it's safe, that it's, it's completely harmless. And if you ask anyone, usually, they'll tell you that. Now, first thing to realise is that the people that you're generally asking will be the security staff as you go through. And those security staff, it doesn't matter how nice they are, they're usually actually not very well informed. They're employees of the security company that has been engaged by the airport, whoever owns the airport, and in some cases they're privately owned. Luton Airport in the UK, for example, is privately owned. It's owned by Luton Council, and the security firm that's engaged to feed you through that whole security system is a private security firm. And mostly the people that I've come across who work that system are not very well informed. They will just repeat the line that they've been told, basically. Anyway, because this is new and because it is radiation, it is a frequency that's going into my body. I did a little bit of research, not much actually, really didn't go very deeply into it because I didn't feel I needed to. But a cursory look revealed that basically, in terms of what the scientists are saying, is we don't know. The jury's out. It hasn't been around long enough. We don't know. We have no real long-term studies. So the company line, the party line at the moment, if you bother to dig, is there are 3 groups of people that should not go through these body scanners at the moment. The first group are pregnant women. The second group are young children. Now, I can't remember what the age advisory age is, but young children. And the third group, which is interesting, are frequent travellers. Those 3 categories are advised not to go through those scanners. That is the official line at the moment. So my experience at the 2 airports was very, very different. And I actually want to do a bit of a shout out to Cork Airport, because this, in my view, is how anything like this should be handled. Basically, there are signs up all over the airport, all over the security area that says, we are now using these whole body scanners. It is your right to refuse them. Just notify a member of staff and we will feed you through. That's exactly what I've done, number of times actually. And it's all really pleasant. There are no questions. There's no grilling or anything like that. It's just, yep, that's fine. They switch it off for a couple of seconds. You walk through, and then on the other side they do the pat down and arms out and turn rounds and do a kind of scanner thing. It takes seconds, and there was no problem with it whatsoever. Gatwick, however, obviously much larger airports, much busier airports. Don't know why that should make a difference, frankly. There are no notices up. It is inferred that you have to go through. So I went up and I said, I'm choosing not to go through. And I was met with a very stony glare. Well, you have to read that notice. So I looked at the notice and I said, I'm actually aware of all of that. It's absolutely fine. I don't mind being body searched. That's fine. well, you just have to wait. You have to wait there, and I have to get my manager. Now, I was kept waiting there for a good 10 minutes, I'd say. And the manager eventually appeared and said, can you tell me why you're not going to go through the scanner? And I said, yeah, health reasons. He said, well, you have to tell me exactly what. So I said, actually, I'm not obliged to tell you that. That's my personal data. And actually, you don't need to know that. It is my legal right to choose not to go through those scanners. And he said, well, okay, if you're not going to tell me, then you have to go into another room and I have to get 2 colleagues to and you may have to be strip searched. And all scare tactics. And you might miss your flight. Now, I'm used to that kind of chat. So I said, Scott, I've got plenty of time. It's not a problem. I don't object. It's all right. So I was then kept waiting for another good 10, 15 minutes. And 2 female staff finally appeared. Again, very stony-faced. Didn't really know what to do with me, actually. Asked me to take my shoes off, then said, oh, no, you can keep them on. Oh, no, maybe you shouldn't. Oh, hang on, we'll put them through the thing. Anyway, so it kind of shows how few people question this. Eventually, I was taken into a room and I was searched as the same way that I would have been done in Cork Airport. And I did actually point out that this was the procedure at Cork. And I was told every airport has a different policy. And I was wearing a dress over some trousers, and the dress was lifted up. That was all fine. After that, I was asked to take my trousers down, and I asked why that was necessary, and I was told it's procedure. Anyway, I'm not going to go into any more details, but eventually they allowed me to go back and fetch my case. And my case was being held. It was completely ignored by the staff who were randomly selecting cases for looking at until I think another 10 minutes went past. And then the same lady who led the search on me came back and went through my case, clearly not knowing what she was looking for. That's another story. Anyway, the whole thing probably took about half an hour, I would say, maybe half an hour. It was all fine because I'd allowed enough time and, I don't like hurrying through airports anyway. My point is, one was a deliberate attempt to treat me as a nuisance and as somebody who was not the norm, and that to make it unpleasant so that I would not do that again. Totally unnecessary, and actually comes from a very ill-informed position. Cork, absolutely, fine experience, and all how it should be done, in my view. So that is what is leading me to today's message, which is to protect, as far as you can, your own energetic frequency. When we know that all frequencies affect us, and they do, it doesn't matter how many times people say, oh, mobile phones are safe, microwaves are safe, thalidomide's safe, smoking's safe. We know that there can be great conviction at the time, but without long-term studies and the most appropriate studies, the simple fact is we don't know. So why take that risk unless we absolutely have to? So I would advise you to, first of all, do your own research and exercise some discernment. If you're going to be exposed to some form of electrical frequency, question it. Ask, is this something that I want to happen for the sake of convenience, or for the sake of actually just saying, excuse me, I'd rather not do that, thank you. That's one thing. The second thing is to know that it is absolutely your legal right to do that. It doesn't matter how many ill-informed people tell you that you have to do that, that is not true. It is not the law. It is not a criminal offence for you to opt out of things that may affect your health. And neither is it the law that you have to tell them anything about why you're choosing not to. It's not their business. So really, it's just about towing the line and not asking questions in most people's cases. And the third thing is to absolutely know that there are many things that we can do if we feel we can't question or that we have no choice for some reason, like just getting on a plane, for example, then we can put things in place that mitigate any effects of that, whether that be homeopathic remedies, and there are many, or whether it be using the Healy frequencies, which are brilliant at this, actually, I have to say. And if you think, oh, actually, I wasn't aware of that, and I have been through several times recently, it's not too late. You can use either of those things or both of them to actually put things back into balance or to support you to do that. And there are various other things as well. So that's my message today, is to not only watch out when you're traveling, going on holiday or whatever, but just generally, don't just go with the herd. Don't just do stuff that may be putting you at risk without asking, hang on a second, what is this and how might it affect me? And might is enough to choose not to. So that's it. That's my message for today. And if it does resonate with you, then just let me know in the comments below. And as I said up front of the video, if you also would like a download of the checklist that I've put together for homeopathic remedies to take with you when you're travelling, then just put the comment holiday remedies in the comment boxes below. Have a beautiful week, and be in a brilliant frequency for you. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.